For this problem, we're going to try to do something that sounds very easy, but is actually a little bit tricky. Down below this video, you should have a GeoGebra app that looks exactly like the one up here on my screen. And you're supposed to be 3 points. You may not be able to see the third point. You can grab your screen and drag it up so you can see that third point, but you should have points A, B, and C on your screen. And what we want to do is find the circle that goes through all 3 points. Anytime you have 3 points that aren't making a straight line, there's only one circle in the entire universe that goes through all 3 of those. And that's what we're trying to find. Now, it's kind of hard to just guess it. It doesn't seem like it would be, but if you go over and try to draw a circle with a center and just pick a spot to do this and draw a circle, it is really hard to make that circle go through all 3 points. You try to move it around and stuff, but as you hit one point, then it gets harder to hit the next point. It's like, oh, I got that one. Oh, now the other one's wrong. And you try to mix it, try to get to hit the next point. It's really kind of tricky to get a circle to hit all 3 points. Frankly, it can be tricky to get the circle to hit just 2 of them. But we're going to find a way to draw the circle to get all 3 points. First off, take a minute, convince yourself, play around with the circle tool, and try to draw a circle that hits all 3 points. Pause the video for a minute and see if you can do it. Maybe you get lucky. You probably got a 10 or 20% chance of actually getting it to work. Okay, if you got that to work, great, good for you. You should buy a lottery ticket because it is not easy to make that happen. Or maybe you're a genius. I don't know which. But most of us probably did not get that to work. So what we're going to do, we have a way to create the circle that goes through all 3 points. And it basically has to do with a triangle. Step 1 in this problem is going to be to go over to the polygon tool and draw a triangle that hits all these points. Triangle with the polygon tool, just like we did in the last problem. Now we've got a triangle that touches all 3 points. That'll be the first step. Second step, we need the perpendicular bisector for each triangle. So we can come over here and under More, we can find the perpendicular bisector tool. It's under Construct. And what that does is it creates a line that makes a right angle through the middle of each segment you click on. So in other words, if I click on this segment down here, on segment BC, it'll put a line in, and that line makes a right angle with segment BC, and it goes right through the middle. And I'm going to do that with all 3 sides. And I click on each of the 3 sides, and I get 3 separate lines. They should all meet at a certain point, at the same point. Now, the picture's a little crowded here, so I'm going to click on the arrow tool down here, and I'm going to turn these into a different color so I can see what my perpendicular bisectors are and not mix it up with the original triangle. So if I click, remember I clicked on the arrow first, then I click on one of these lines, select the paint can, I'm going to change them all to red. I'm going to do that for all 3 of them, so it can be a little bit easier to follow. So these 3 red lines are the perpendicular bisectors for the 3 lines in the triangle. Now, what I want to do is find a circle that goes through all of these. Well, that circle is going to be centered at the point where these 3 lines touch. So I'm going to go over to the point tool, select that, and click right where they all touch. And I got to be exactly on so it doesn't move, and that point will stay there where those 3 lines touch. That's the center of the circle that touches those 3 points. If I want to actually draw the circle, we go back to the tool that says Circle with a Center, and we'll click on the center first, and then you can drag your circle out and click on any of the points on that triangle, A or B or C, and when you get one of them, you're actually going to get all 3 at the same time. And that circle will not just close to fit them, it will fit those 3 points perfectly. And you can prove that to yourself by doing this. Go down to the arrow tool and then grab those points and move them around, and it'll actually change the circle to match. So you're going to drag your circle around until you got a triangle where all 3 points match, or all 3 points are on the circle. And now, to make yours different from mine, you're going to go back and click on the circle itself and change it to being, let's say, make it blue. And then you're going to take a screenshot and upload it on the bottom of the page.